Anyway, I got the world's scariest slides. Let's go. Let's watch. Let's react. And let's see if it is crazy. Let's go.
No matter how old you are, it's hard to walk past a playground slide and not relive your childhood. Fortunately, these days, slides aren't just made for kids. Adrenaline junkies around the world have turbocharged their favorite ride. These slides aren't for the faint of heart. Let's get it on.
Let's see it.
Skyslide. For people who have a fear of heights, the best advice I can give you is don't look down. But what if that's not an option? The Skyslide in Los Angeles is a terrifying see-through slide that begins at the top of a skyscraper. Take a trip up to the 70th floor of the US Bank Tower in downtown Los Angeles, and you can take a chance on one of the scariest 4-second experiences of your life.
Just 4 seconds. Honestly?
Okay, so 4 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but when there's only a thin piece of clear perspex glass between you and a 1,000-foot drop, it feels like an eternity. Riders shuffle into a thin gray mat before sliding down the hair-raising slope for this short but exhilarating thrill.
I don't care what they say, 4 seconds isn't long enough. I think it should at least go down at like 2 or 3 stories, like wrap around the whole building, and then end somewhere, because that would be way cooler. Probably more dangerous too, but I just, in my opinion, I think they should do that because I don't feel like it's worth doing if it's not bigger. That's all I'm saying. I feel like that'd be scarier too.
Thrill ride. Survivors of this experience get off 1 story below on the 69th floor.
Nice.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, 1 story is not big
When you're
enough.
on a water slide named after the tallest mountain in Africa, you've got to wonder if specialist climbing equipment and oxygen masks are needed to reach the top. The Kilimanjaro is Rio de Janeiro's tallest water slide, standing a massive 164 feet tall. That might not sound that impressive, but when you put the Kilimanjaro next to Rio's other tourist attraction, you'll notice our favorite white-knuckle water ride is a good 40 feet taller. Riders need to be sure of 2 things before they brave the Kilimanjaro. They need to be able to handle the massive 234-step climb to the top and then have their fear of heights in check. While some people feel brave enough initially, 1 in 20 riders take 1 look and back out for their walk of shame. With all that height comes blistering speed. Riders shoot down Kilimanjaro.
There's literally no point in walking all those steps and turning around. Just do it. Like, you wasted your time if you're gonna walk all the way up those steps and then turn around. Just take it. You're going down. It's faster to take the slide anyway. Just take the slide. I would go down it. I don't care. I'm not climbing all those steps just to turn around and be like, nope, I'm good. I can't do that.
At a record 57 miles per hour, the fastest speed on any water slide currently in operation. You probably don't want to go any faster either, or you might need another pair of swimming trunks. 0G. If you've ever wanted to combine the thrill of hurtling down a water slide at breakneck speed with zero gravity, the 0G in New Jersey's Mountain Creek is an adrenaline-fueled adventure like no other. After ascending the 200-odd stairs to the top, brave riders are loaded into a capsule at the top of the ride and a door is sealed. A calm, yet somehow terrifying voice counts you down to your doom. Suddenly, the floor gives way and you fall through the trap door into an almost vertical drop. You get this surreal moment of zero gravity, but there's no time for aerial acrobatics, because you're almost immediately shot into the world's tallest double loops before sliding into the pool below. Slip and Fly, Ohio.
I like that one.
Ask any adrenaline junkie and they'll tell you. Most water slides are missing one key ingredient, a giant jump at the end. Ohio's Dream Action Sports Camp made sure every aerial acrobat was covered with their iconic Slip and Fly. Normally just a teenage summer camp, Dreams opens its doors to the public once a year for the annual Sports and Music Festival. Revelers from across the country descend on the normally sleepy Ohio town to enjoy the sun, tunes, and of course, ride the biggest water slide of its kind in the state. Riders plunge down the steep plastic track before being flung more than 10 feet in the air. Front flip, back flip, or stylish Superman. The choice once you get some air is completely up to you. Just try and time your landing properly. The waiver they get you to sign on the way in doesn't cover belly flop related injuries.
It was at this moment that he knew.
To infinity and beyond. Extreme tubing. The K90 Nordic Ski Jump was first built in Utah's Salt Lake City for competitors during the 2002 Winter Olympic Games. While it's still used for competitive training, these days the landing slope takes on a much different purpose. You see, the problem with snow is it doesn't usually hang around in the summer months. So to make downhill adventure a year-round thing, Utah's Olympic Park installed a synthetic carpet-like surface that mimics the properties of the white powdered goodness.
Imagine
There are 2 slopes
Imagine falling on that. I couldn't do that. Your skin be all jacked up, get all kinds of rug burns. Kind of good on that. Do not want the rug burns. They're going like 20 miles an hour or something like that. Can't do it.
choose from: the Junior K4 and the Big K90. But no matter your appetite for disaster, this is one thrill ride that will get your blood pumping. Riders jump in a specially designed hard-bottom inner tube and set off from the top, reaching eye-watering speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. You've got no way to steer.
Miles.
Just
Sweet.
hold on tight and hope for the best as you rocket down the green slide all the way to the bottom. Ultimate Abyss. I've always found it funny that cruise ships have swimming pools included, so it should come as no surprise that some of them come kitted out with slides as well. The Royal Caribbean hosts one of the most unique and positively immersive slide experiences in the world. You'll find the Ultimate Abyss slide in the sports deck 10 floors up, and trust me, it's not as innocent as it seems. There's no water on this ride, so unless you're particularly slippery, you'll have to get into a specially designed sliding pad and pick one of 2 identical tubes to disappear into. Riders will top out at around 10 miles per hour. But it's the psychedelic audio-visual experience on the way down that really makes the Ultimate Abyss an amazingly unique experience. It would be cool if one of the slides randomly spat you out into the ocean, but it probably wouldn't be for the best while somewhere out in the middle of the Pacific. Imagine Slide.
Yeah, no thank you.
Deep in El Salvador's El Boquerón Mountains lies a curious tourist attraction that can literally be seen from a mile away. The view over the valley is an experience in itself. But tourists come from all over to take a ride on this once-in-a-lifetime thrill. This isn't your average slide. Patterns on the Hexagon.
People come from all over the world to go down a slide with tile on it. I mean, let's see what he has to say. He said, yeah, it's not an average slide. Let's see.
Prevent you from going down without a specifically designed inner tube. One ride costs just $5, and after a friendly push from the slide attendant, you very quickly build up some blistering speed. Most guests can't help screaming for joy as they zoom down the rainbow slide.
They're going fast.
But that's if the weather is fine. When there's heavy fog, you literally slide into the clouds and disappear. Who's next? Bamboota Lodge. Panama's Bamboota Lodge is a...
See how he said nothing about the speed? I said it's a nice slide with nice tiles. That's basically what he said. That's all I heard, which I was right.
Giant rainforest retreat hidden away from the hustle and bustle of the South American city. Surrounded by lush jungles and clear waters, there's a lot to do when you've had enough of just lazing around by the pool sipping cocktails. One of those adventures is a 150-foot water slide that runs from the bar deck right into the Caribbean Sea. You can take a boogie board or go head first without one, straight into clear, warm waters. And if you're lucky, curious sloths often like to watch riders as they slip straight into the ocean. Rear Rock Slide. Hidden deep in the National Park of New Zealand's North Island is the Rear Rock Slide. Here, water from the nearby Wharekaupai River has spent millions of years weathering the rocks around to create the awesome Rear Rock Slide, a naturally cut 200-foot-long decline into the rocky area that provides one of the most extreme rides in the world. Riders can take rafts down the rapids or even hang on to motorized boats that provide massive speed boosts while clinging to boogie boards for dear life. Fun to ride? Yes. Crazy? Maybe just a little bit. Orbit Tower. Holding the title as the longest, tallest, and fastest dry slide in the world, London's ArcelorMittal Orbit was originally a sculpture created to commemorate the 2012 London Olympics. 4 years later, they decided to make use of the 377-foot-tall structure by installing a giant tube slide that twisted and turned from top to bottom. The result is a crazy 584-foot ride complete with 12 turns and a tight corkscrew twist. Riders brave enough have to make their way to the top of the Orbit Tower before donning a helmet and elbow pads for safety. Once you set off, though, there's no turning back.
It burns up without those elbow pads. Jeez. Friction is not okay.
Riders reach speeds of up to 15 miles per hour, whizzing towards the ground. 15? While the view is supposed to be spectacular from the top, don't expect to see a lot on the way down. A few glimpses of sunshine is all you get before being plunged back into absolute darkness.
Darkness. Oh, that's the end. Let me know in the comments below what you think is the best slide and all of that. That's my favorite slide. I think my favorite slide was the one with the jump, and then the one that's the tallest where people will cower and go back down 200 and something stairs, because I would try that. See you later. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fancy stuff. Yeah.